African Bank was placed in liquidation about 5 years ago and seems to have won back customers' trust, with retail deposits standing at around 2.4 billion rand, which is up from last year's 1 billion rand. The bank's CEO Basani Maluleke joins me in studio now. Thanks so much for your time on SABC News this evening. Talk to us about the growth of the group in total. I think it's over 1 billion rand after tax profit.
Yes, it is. We are so proud of the fact that we've achieved a 13% increase in after-tax profit in a year, as you pointed out, where the economic growth has been very low. And we've achieved this by growing the sales of our credit book. So our sales grew by 12%, which is incredible, given that during the course of this year, we've actually been restricting the people we've been lending to. So we've been tightening our lending criteria to ensure that we're lending to more low-risk customers. And where this is showing up is in the fact that now, where we stand today, 84% of the customers that we have on our book, we classify as low-risk customers. So in its entirety, we've managed to grow our organization over the last year by increasing our sales, where we have actually been lending to lower risk customers and giving them smaller loans over shorter periods to make sure that the overall quality of our book continues to improve.
Okay. If you had to point out a very specific thing in that growth, where would it come from African Bank, and what type of numbers are we talking about?
So the growth predominantly comes from us being able to target and attract more customers that have typically not dealt with the bank before. So we're still managing to have about a third of the customers that we lend to be new to bank customers, which for us is fantastic. Secondly, over the course of the last 2 years, we've actually increased the number of customers who are coming to us through our non-traditional channels. So traditionally, customers would come to us through our branch network, which we are very, very proud of actually. But now we've noticed that 20% of our customers are actually coming in through our direct sales channels. So that's our telesales channel, as well as through our website, which is a very good story about how the organization is transforming itself to become more digital as we become more digitalized as a country.
Mm-hmm. That digital growth is part of your strategy for the bank going forward as well.
Absolutely. So we've been investing quite a lot over the last 3 years to develop what we've launched now, which is our transactional account called My World. So we launched the account in May to great fanfare and lights and lots of excitement. And we've been developing that account for the last 2 years. So we've developed it and marketed it as the first transactional account that has been made to share. So this account is really made with South Africans in mind and with how we live in mind. So we know that many of us like to share whatever we do. So it might be that you want to start saving for a trip with your friends. You might be saving for a stokvel to buy food at the end of December. And this account has been made deliberately to enable you to open the account, to add as many people, as many members to the account as you want. So for example, if you have a stokvel with 20 people, you can open the account, add all of them in. They can all make deposits. They can all make sure that, you know, if you're the treasurer, that you're not going to steal the money, because they can see all the activity that's happening in the account. And as a result, they can then, you know, have the money and spend it as they wish. And more importantly, we're also offering the highest interest rates in the market. So you can be comfortable that when you deposit money with African Bank through any of our products, you are earning the best rate that's available in South Africa.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about that stricter lending criteria when it comes to loans. A big part of your business is those unsecured loans. So how did it affect that part of the business specifically?
The stricter criteria? Well, it meant that traditionally, if you were able to get a loan with African Bank prior to us tightening our lending criteria, you may not have qualified for a loan after we tightened our criteria. Alternatively, and for many customers, what it meant was that you probably would have received a smaller loan. So whereas perhaps you may have received a 20,000 Rand loan, you'll now get an 18,000 Rand loan, and it would be over a shorter time period. Mm-hmm. And that's how we've been managing, ensuring that we are improving the quality of our book by making sure that we have tighter underwriting criteria.
Mm-hmm. When people look at African Bank's results, which came out, I think, on the 26th of November, a lot is made of the increase in deposits. I think it's over 115% of an increase in deposits, the profit and the like. What numbers are you looking at going forward? What are we likely to see next year, and what are your targets?
So we have managed to double our deposits this year as well as last year. So the fact that we are now sitting on 2.4 billion Rand of deposit for us is a major achievement. And it's a major achievement because we've always associated our ability to attract deposits to the organization with gaining trust with ordinary consumers. And given the history that you pointed out in your introduction, regaining the trust of our consumers and building the brand is a major part of what we as a management team focus on. And what we want to make sure we do in the years ahead is to continue with that strategy of offering the best interest rates in the country with a view to continuing to doubling our deposits in the year ahead.
Thanks so much for your time this evening. African Bank CEO Basani Maluleke joining me in studio there. It's time for us to take a look at